May profits be upon you. Welcome to another weekly Forex forecast. It's been an interesting couple of weeks, huh? Last week it wasn't a whole lot of action. I mean, apart from the first couple of days of the week, we got a lot of consolidation, and then Thursday we get a tariff uh, surge. It was kind of crazy, but let's look at the week ahead on the economic calendar. Got a bank holiday today and Monday. We have Euro bank holiday. We got some good what do you call liquidity injection here. Fed chair will be speaking on USD. Tuesday, jolts, CPI for the Swiss. But we got jolts for the US dollar, GDP for the Aussie dollar. Wednesday, what do we got here? The Bank of Canada has a interest rate decision to make. ADP, non-farm employment change. This is going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is going to be good days to trade. Thursday gets a little interesting because this is a day where we normally see some consolidation before Friday's NFP employment news. I mean, NFP is a big day, high impact. You want to be out of the markets uh, just before the news, and you want to, the smart thing is to wait until the dust settles and then get back into the market. So a lot of people fade the move on of the NFP on you know on Fridays, and they don't trade on Thursdays because it can get a little wonky, a little herky jerky, and consolidative. So Monday through Wednesday, I'll likely be trading, and I'll be watching on Thursday and Friday. We'll see if we can get something good. You know what I mean? We'll see. Now, let's look at the US dollar index. First thing I want to point out is we got a new month ahead of us, June, right? So let's take a look at the monthly real quick because we have a new month coming. You can see that we are in an ascending channel here, and I don't usually point out channels. Yeah, you already know how I trade, but when it's obvious like this, you say, if it comes down here, if we're near here, there's a good likelihood that we're probably going to be bearish until we get another touch. One, two, and a third touch here. So, yeah, I'm bearish on it, not because of the channel, but because of the structure. All right. You can see that we've went into this consolidation, swept the highs, and then came back to sweep these lows. We have a bearish leg that developed, and you can see price pulling up. All right, and that's something to keep an eye on because where are we pulling up from? We're pulling up from, if I can get it, we're pulling up from this bullish fair value gap. Now, when they're older like this is back from 2022. I tend to look at them as speed bumps. All right, where price reacts to it and then continues. All right, I don't think these are strong enough to serve as reversal points. Occasionally it does, but you have to take in other things, other factors like look at this that swing high there, and then the push higher. We're right at that area for that breakout where this breakout took place. This is a good place to find some support for sure. Look at what we found here: resistance, 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 all on the same line, right? We find price broke through and found support, and then ran back down, and then we find resistance again. We find resistance again, and then we break through, and we find what support. All right. And what are we finding right now? All right. The reason why I'm bearish is because we have a strong area where price respected that bearish monthly fair value gap and closed in a bearish way. So Yeah, on the monthly, I'd be thinking that prices are probably going to go lower. You see this how what is it? May had a couple of weeks ago had this strong bearish push a week ago, a couple of weeks ago, and then we tried to correct that move last week, but then we see this wick of respect there. So I'm thinking we're likely to see some follow through. All right, here is that weekly monthly fair value gap, and you see the respect it was given, but it just served as a reaction. And I'm thinking that we're coming towards that low, and possibly for a touch on the other side where support is found on that ascending channel. Does that make sense so far? Let me know if you have a question in the comment section. Okay. Now, on the daily, you can see Thursday was a big day because of the tariffs and China and Donald Trump, uh, and the courts saying that okay, you can't do there's no way you're going to be doing tariffs that way. But uh, the appeals court said, "Au contraire." Au contraire. All right, so price went up high according to the court when the courts came, but then the appeals came, giving it putting a stay on the what the court had ordered as far as uh, cutting those what they deem as not legal tariffs off. So what are we at? Where are we at really? All right. This looks like a push down, a pullback, and then I'm looking for another push down. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for more of the same. So I'm looking at these lows here as my liquidity lows to draw a price to it. All right. And that's what I'm looking for this week coming. Those are relative equal lows. All right. And I'm looking for to keep my eye on the latest fundamental news going in, and I'm going to trade with caution. All right, but I am bearish on the US dollar. I think we're going to go lower. I think we're heading towards these lows, and we'll see how it all ends up because this is a fair. Look at this mess. All right, there is a fair value gap in here that price has pushed into, have a weak reaction to. So that's one of the reasons why I'm thinking that we're probably going to head down because this was a very weak reaction. Now, if we get some more, another bullish, and we take out this high, then my this will be a market structure shift to the upside, and I'll be looking for price to come back and then continue higher. That's when I will turn bullish on it. But up until that point, no, I'm bearish, and this will a break below these lows will confirm that. I'll be looking for a fair value gap in that leg down for a price to pull back to and then continue lower to these lows. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Ask me a question in the comment section. Now, if we go to the euro, again, this is the inverse of the US dollar. Yes, I'm bullish on it. You have this is the monthly time frame. You see this high and this low. I like this as a completed bullish fair value gap. And price could come back into this bullish fair value gap in order to seek higher prices to these relative equal highs here, which will be a lovely draw on liquidity. All right, if we go to the weekly, you can see that we did hit an area of uh, fair value here, a push down, a sell before a stronger buy up. Price pulled back into that area of fair value and continued higher. It's very, very, you can see how sideways this is. All right. Price made a consolidation, push down, and then pull back into that consolidation. All right. Am I bearish? No, I'm not bearish. All right. Because I see this push down on Thursday and then up, with the appeals court. of working for in favor of giving a stay on the court order to stop the tariffs, the tariffs and all. I like to see some follow through to these highs. I also want to point out something too while I'm got my mind on it. If we go to the weekly, it'll be better to see. See this uh, low here, low here, and then what I'm showing you is support, support, resistance, resistance. Are we going to break through with this as a draw on liquidity at these highs around 1625, 1.1625? That's going to be an area that I think price is going to be attracted to. I'd like to see some follow through to the upside on this. Yes. So I have the high here at 1.1434 as a draw on liquidity, and then this high right behind it at 14,600. Okay. Yeah. So that's where I'm at on this. This looks like a clear, sorry, push higher, a pullback, and then I'm looking for the next higher high to be made. Okay. If we look at the pound, pound is pretty strong, right? But what we have here on the daily is this bullish leg that just cleared this high. This is a clear bullish indication. All right. Last week it came back down into this imbalance candle here, which will represent demand. Price rejected on Thursday. All right. Rejected on that tariff candle. All right. And pushed higher, but it didn't break the high. It didn't go, it didn't, it was a muted response. And then Friday, we start trading back into that candle, thinking that this pullback has not ended yet. Now, am I bullish or bearish on the pound? This one's a little not so easy to figure because I don't like to see uh, uh, relative equal lows at the formation of an area of fair value because it's already been traded into. I'm thinking that this low is vulnerable and that makes these lows vulnerable. All right. Now, this is what I'm going to be looking out for. If this low is taken, all right, if it is if we have a breach of this that low, I'm gonna be looking for price to attack these lows. All right. Now that's not indicated with the U.S. dollar index that it'll be stronger at the beginning of the week or anything. It's not. It's not. But that could change by the end of the week when we get NFP. But as of now, this looks more weaker than it does look stronger. Yes, we had a nice bullish impulse here and a pullback, but the problem is we didn't break any highs. Yes, we have some descending highs to come and get for liquidity, and I like that. I am leaning towards uh, bullishness. All right, and because of the weakness that I perceive in the U.S. dollar. So, and I like these highs here as liquidity draws. But if we have a breach of this low, I'm not taking any buys in this market, and I'll be looking for prices to, the market to ascend to those, descend to these relative equal lows over here. So there's quite the quandary here. All right, we have not breached the bottom of this bullish fair value gap, and we tapped into it, had a muted reaction to it, and now we have on Friday we had this close. I'm thinking that we are vulnerable for these lows. So this is a market I'm going to continue to watch. I'm not one that I'm inclined to trade, honestly. Aussie dollar, very, very much the same sentiment. Look at this. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. Look at this. All right. We push down, we pull up. This area here is a weekly fair value gap that price did not revisit yet, and we go sideways. And we are in the middle of that sideways action. There's not a whole lot to watch here, folks. What I would be inclined to is that uh, uh, price has all these descending lows here for liquidity. I would love to see price come into that weekly fair value gap, because it hasn't been touched yet. We get into that weekly fair value gap, and then we push higher. That's what I would like to see. Now, if price goes higher first and taps up here into the weekly, actually this is a monthly area of fair value, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, monthly fair value, monthly area of fair value. Then I'll be looking for prices to go lower. That's it. All right, but that would require some catalyst, a fundamental catalyst. All right, right now I'm thinking to stay out of this market because it's moving sideways. But once I start to see it heading down towards that weekly fair value gap down here that's untouched, I'll be looking for more longs for sure. Yes, I would. Okay, and if we go to the New Zealand dollar, not much different. All right. If we go to the weekly, you can see that we tapped into the weekly fair value gap. We had a strong reaction. All right. Price gave us this doji kind of candle here, but it did pull back into this candle. All right. So we see a pull up, a push back, a push down. I'm looking for impulse correction and impulse here. So I'm sorry. Doggone it. Let me get rid of that. All right. And but you see how consolidative it is. Yes, there's some descending lows here. All right. And there was a sweep of the highs, all these highs here. There was a sweep with this move. All right. And we were looking for that last week. It happened on Tuesday. And then we started to move sideways again. I would love to see a move down towards those liquidity lows before a move higher. If we move higher first, then I'm thinking that my bias is going to change to bearish. But right now, I'm leaning towards bullishness, but I'm staying out of this market because it's so consolidative. There's not much to do there. All right, CAD, U.S. dollar, CAD. I mean CAD, U.S. dollar, really, because we're looking at um, the futures. All right, and what I see here is an impulsive move down on the monthly, a pullback. Is the pullback over? Yes, I think we're about to turn very bearish in here. Look at this untouched monthly fair value gap that we just touched this last week. I mean, this last month and this last week. All right, the week ended with a touch of that monthly fair value gap. We breached it. I'm looking for price to turn over at this point. I don't want to take bullish moves. I'm not taking buys into this area where I would normally be selling. All right, I would wait for proper uh, breaks of structure, and then I would consider a a move to the downside. All right. But right now, price is still bullish. We had a recent breach here. All right. And price is still bullish. So it is still pushing up into this monthly. We have a weekly here, a weekly fair value gap that price reacted from. I'm thinking that that may allow prices to move higher. If we look down on the smaller time frames, I'm thinking that if we just remain patient, we'll see the markets open up an opportunity for some proper buys, but I'm not inclined to take buys until we break that high. All right, does that make sense? Anyway, I will see you in the next video. I will go over the Swiss and the Japanese yen. Okay. Thank you for watching.